Thank you so much, Anita. This again, my name is Nasibu Soreva, Executive Director of the African Development Center. It is a non-profit organizations, community development financial institutions that was created by African immigrants for African immigrants here in the US. We are really very unique in terms of providing financial services. Our work is to actually empower African to do economic empowerment to the African immigrants here in the state of Minnesota. Again, we're the only African-led, African-started organizations with the capacity to do small business lending here in the United States. And my intention has always been, once the diaspora is settled here in the United States, then they're going to be able to do any development or thinking about doing a whole lot of work in their respective countries where they're coming from. Now, when it comes to this topic, first of all, I'd like to say there's a need of active engagement that really will foster the convening of events, sessions, as the African Union call regional consultative conferences in the various regions of the world, especially here in the US with significant diaspora populations, to formulate a good roadmap for ensuring effective diaspora participation and integration and development agenda of Africa. Again, as always, when I talk about this work, I talk about Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. If that is the Africa blueprints and master plan for transformational Africa into global powerhouse of the future, I would say that all of us, the diaspora, need to really understand what is that Agenda 2063. I know that soon after the launching of the Africa Union in 2002 in South Africa, the Assembly of Head of States met in Ethiopia to establish, among other things, a legal framework that will create the necessary and sufficient conditions that would invite the African diaspora to participate fully as an important component in building first the African Union and two, the continent. Now, the Citizens and Diaspora Directorate of the African Union Commission, CIDO, and the ECOSOC, Economic, Social, and Cultural Council, of which have invited me to so many meetings here in the US and across the world, were created and given specific responsibilities to seek and harness the contribution of non-state actors, which is actually, again, us, the diaspora, to the effort of the Commonwealth. Now, I've worked with Honorable Ambassador Jalil, who is the head of Civil Society Division, Citizens and Diaspora Directorate, CIDA. I've worked with Director Ahmed Al-Bashir, including their very good staff, William and Nana, to organize meetings here in the US, just to make sure that the diaspora really understand what is Agenda 2063, of which I'll touch just a couple things here before my time is out. At the same time, so really the diaspora to understand what is African Continental Free Trade Area and when exactly the implementation is going to start, and what exactly do we need to do as the diaspora to make sure that we take advantage of that AfCFTA. Now, a bunch of meetings, sessions, convenings were done last year, and one of the sessions of which I organized here in Minnesota was also done last year. Now, going back to the topic of implementing African Trade Pact past COVID, again, here it is. As far as I'm concerned, the diaspora really, most of us in the diaspora really don't really understand very well about the African Continental Free Trade Areas, of which, again, as I said, CEDAW and ECOSOC, we're doing really some great work to make sure that people understand. And we were still, as far as I'm concerned, in the process of making sure that the diaspora understand that very well and when exactly the implementation will take place. Because if you're not understanding, you're not even going to know when exactly the implementation is going to take place, let alone for you to be able to actually take advantage of this one of the world's largest single market. As Anita said, it has been estimated that anything between $3 to $4 trillion of spending and investment transactions can occur within this, again, largest world single market that has been created by the Africa. Now, again, going back to COVID, all the convening that we're actually supposed to be done since January, I know that the African Union have continued to do some meetings virtually, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't really believe that the diaspora has been engaging or participating fully into this engagement or attending all this engagement that have been put together by the African Union. I've participated on a few. I didn't think I saw a whole lot of us actually participating. So the COVID, you can see the effect of COVID here, that, because of that, people are really not engaging really fully. So had the implementation started the way it was planned, I would say that people from the diaspora would have been 6 months behind in terms of really just understanding when exactly the African Continental Free Trade Area implementation got started and what exactly are the priorities and then some important things that would actually, got started at the time. So my hope here really, as Anita said, not only waiting until the pandemic, it seems like we're going to live with this coronavirus for quite some time, as the African Union and the head of states and the continent trying to figure out and how we can implement this. Again, whether it's going to be after 6 months or not, I think we need to continue to galvanize African diaspora constituencies around the world. We need the participation of the diaspora in the affairs of the African Union and unite and mobilize Africans within and outside the continent and harness their collective efforts towards the building of the continent. Again, my really one main thing that I would have loved to continue doing it to just make sure that the diaspora understand the Agenda 2063, of which establishment of the African Continental Free Trade Areas was one of the flagship projects. And there are a bunch of other red projects that I really think the diaspora will contribute immensely into this project. If you look into the integrated high-speed trade network, formulation of African commodities strategy, you look into the establishment of a single African air transport market. You see, looking into all this and the expertise that we have here in the diaspora, I really think that if we would continue to just making sure that the diaspora understand this Agenda 2023 for the Africa we want, will really